What's going on, guys? So I decided to try out the black zones for the first time, and I wanted to share my experience. Apparently gathering is much better in black zones, especially because there's so many enchanted and untouched nodes. So I figured, why not try it? I got a relatively cheap build, I mean 200 to 300,000, and right off the bat I made my first mistake, and that was not getting the invisibility. So I had no idea where I was going or anything. I just decided to... My gear was about 200 to 300,000 because I wanted to use at least tier 7 or tier 8 tools for speed. So I got a tier 7 stone hammer, and pickaxe was 6. So I forgot the invisibility. I went back and got it, and I decided to ride around on my horse, 105% gallop speed, and see what the black zone's about. So I came across some nodes in the first zone. I stayed kind of safe, and then I decided to venture out to the Frostbite Mountains, where ore is more abundant. So right off the bat I see this giant ore in the middle of the map, and I pretty much assume that all gankers go there to kill people, but I wanted to see how much ore is actually there. So not only the ore, but also the enemies are there, and when you kill them and you mine from them, they always mine much quicker. So my goal here was maybe get 100,000 in profit and then get out of there. So I tried to kill these mobs and stay as close to my mount as possible, and then bring my mount over as close as possible again before I started mining. So it was actually the most ore I've ever seen, because I'm so used to doing yellow zones, so I could definitely see why black zones are definitely more per hour if you know what you're doing. Personally, I don't, so I decided to just go through and wing it. If I had to guess, going to the middle of the map where there's a giant ore is not the best idea, especially with all those hideouts which you see around. There's 6 on this map. Those little towers with the blue ring around them on the map. But in any case, I figured, I went in thinking I was going to die anyway, so I figured just, let me mine as much as I could, and then I'll show you the results. I was actually surprised in the short period I was here, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes, I didn't really see any red players. I thought some of them were going to pop out of the hideout and come and kill me, but I was happy to see that they weren't. I did get out of there as soon as I hit around 100,000 profit, just because, I don't know, I was just nervous they were planning something, or I don't know what to expect. So I figured do 100,000, and actually on my way back I found these exceptional cedar logs, which was a nice nice profit as well. Like 40,000-50,000 or something just from those. You can see how slow I am though, because I don't have high tier wood cutting, only ore. But I figured, why not go for it? What do I have to lose? So I went back and I made it safely on my first trip, even though I only went 2 zones away from the Martlock main city portal. Okay, so I got back to my Martlock portal, and I consider this a success. This time I decided to get the second time, get the invisibility, and make my way all the way there without being seen by anyone. Being that this is the closest place I could see that had the most ore. So my goal here was to get maybe 150 to 200,000 and get out before I got attacked or swarmed, because I have seen ganking videos of other people, and the people who are gathering are actually much better at evading than I am. So I just tried some invisibility gear, and I came across this exceptional titanium ore that, coupled with my my fast speed of titanium and iron ore mining, was beneficial. Again, enchanted nodes are actually faster as well, so I try to focus on those, mine them, and then run away to the next one. Then I started seeing the red bubbles, which means there's a lot of players in a small area and right by the hideout, so I figured I was about to be murdered. So I see Periculum as the guild, and a few of them had the same thing. They had Swift Claws, which were actually faster than my cheap horse. So I tried my best to weave in and out because I know they were coming to kill me. I saw some skulls popping up on the map, which didn't bode well for me. So I tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. And this guy, I could see he's trying to murder me. And his friend is not far behind. I went to the left because that's the closest way to the gate, but then I saw him trying to cut me off, so I tried to stay on the outside, and I could see he was off his mount right about here, and he tries to do his it's off the screen, but that lunging attack is pretty long range, so I made it out of the zone. I was very happy. I got the bubble, and then I went straight back to to the portal. So nerve-wracking, especially because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I guess that's a tip. Get in, get out. As soon as you see any kind of red, just get out of there, especially if you're new. Again, if you have any tips for from experienced Black Zone gatherers or gankers, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know how to best warning signs or best times to play that I don't have to deal with these gankers. But in any case, I made it back with my gear and a few 100,000 overall in profit. Then I went back there. I waited a little while. Maybe it's a different time. So this is 4 o'clock game time. Whatever. I don't remember what time I was playing. Eastern time. But it's 4:07 of Albion time. So I tried my same strategy. I was definitely aware to look for any of the red bubbles. And I tried my best to kill anything that was nearby. So it's quick gather as well as any enchanted nodes. Also getting a lay of the land, like exit points and entrance to this area. And I think that's what I'm going to probably do going forward. Maybe pick a select few areas and just learn them, like the ins and outs, what to look out for. And I think just practicing and getting more familiar will give you the advantage going forward, where I can mine longer without worrying about, you know, getting ganked and losing not only my ore, but all my gear as well. So I was able to go back and sell this ore. I think I did another few hundred. So, I mean, overall, maybe 400,000 or 500,000 in my 3 trips. And I only saw a few people, as you saw before, that I had to run from. But I was still relatively nervous because the gankers are more experienced than I am in killing people. And I'm sure this is a place where a lot of noob miners go to die. And anytime I see movement, sometimes it was just the monsters, I just immediately go back onto the horse because I don't know what, if they use invisibility or if like I get swarmed or... But you'll see later on, there are definitely some gankers. So I try my best to, if instead of getting tagged by these mobs, just go up to them and kill them as quickly as possible with my disembowel. And then mine them and get out of there. So not only it's good for profit, but I was actually able to skill up more because I didn't have to wait to gather any of these nodes because there's really no one else mining here. So they regenerate relatively quickly comparatively to the yellow zones because there's not as many people mining, obviously, because the risk is greater here. But that's, again, the risk reward of black zone mining or black zone gathering. If this was in yellow zone, everyone would be here, and it would be empty nodes, and you couldn't wait for the regular nodes to become enchanted. I think that's what you're supposed to do. So I started doing that later on, just waiting for the regular nodes to be enchanted rather than gathering them if they're close. So I kind of learned that as well as I continued along, rather than getting nervous immediately and just mining anything close to me. But you'll see many of my mistakes in the next 6 minutes. So I started, I don't know if I saw red or what, but I just felt like it was time to go back. And all of a sudden I see this guy tracking me down. And normally like one guy can't kill you, especially if you're in a bubble, so I was kind of confused. But then I looked on the bottom right, and I saw the the bouncing skulls, which means there's dead people over there, and the red circle, which probably means that it's a guild, a group of players, and they're just swarming that area, killing anyone coming into the zone or out of the zone. So even though this guy couldn't get me, I was kind of sure that they were coming that way because I saw them killing those people, and they were coming after me. So I tried my best not to get slowed by any of the mobs. And here he tried to slow me, but I just made it in time. You can see all the guys, they would have just killed me. Even if they tagged me, they could have slowed me. I didn't have my miner's boots, which is another mistake by me. They could silence it, but it's better if I have the mining boots going forward. So that gives you like 200% movement speed and increased max load. So that's a mistake I made, but luckily I didn't pay for it. I got lucky based on the timing. They were too busy killing other people. So I'll say that was a win. And again, I pick another time and I go back and there's nice exceptional nodes. Runite as well as titanium, exceptional nodes that I got. So pretty good profit. And it made me want to stick around, which is not always good. But this is where things start getting scary. So I see this guy and he's just gathering, but then I see in the bottom left it says Legendary Duo, which is a guild, and I think I've seen them before, but I only saw, I hoped he would attack that guy, but you never know. Like, this guy could be out of the guild, it looks like, but realistically he could be in the guild letting them know, you know, there's a miner here, come kill him. So I don't really know too much about it, of like the communication between these people. And right here I made my first, well, I made mistakes before, but another mistake where I was killing these guys. I see this guy on the bottom left trying to kill me, and I got knocked out of the window of by the mob, so I couldn't get back on my mount, and this guy's just murdering me. I tried invisibility, but he had the bleed on me, so I kept undoing my invisibility, and at this point I didn't have miner's boots or anything, and I was just dead. So I died. I tried to get some cheaper gear and go back, and I started seeing red again. And being that this team, this guild was named Blacklist Gang, probably not a good sign. So I really didn't mind much, and I just went back because after getting killed before, I decided not to. But then I see this. This is the scary part of the Black Zone. You see something you want, and then either get ganked or kill them quick. So I tried to kill this treasure drone, which I did. And I figured I could just run back to the zone if needed because I was so close to it. So I killed it, got back down the mount, and then headed back home. Then I decided to go back to the well one more time. Probably not a great idea. I get chased by this guy, Laiffy, Laiffy, I guess. 1400 item power. Much more than me. And a faster mount. So he tried to go that way. I figured he was trying to push me like the other people tried to do. So instead of going out the gate, I just like reversed because I didn't think any of his other guild members were around. And thinking about it, I probably should have just gone to the gate, because you will see what happens to me next. And there's so many enchanted nodes. It's so enticing to go and farm these, but there I see all the red. So I'm like, okay, these guys are not Oh, I dodged one of them, and then there's like 7 of them, and one guy is leading with the mount. So it wasn't even the guild that the guy was. I evaded. This is a different one, Song of Wars or something. And a guy named Mega Goof, getting killed by him. Now I almost thought I got away. I didn't have the miner's boots again because I'm dumb. And I tried my best with the gear I had. Tried the invisibility, tried to get away, and murdered again. And we got one more for you. I didn't even see these guys. I don't even know where they came from, and all of a sudden I was surrounded by like 5 or 6 guys. Then he used that chain thing where it's either you get killed, you stay and don't get chained, or you just get killed by everyone. So it's lose-lose. And this time I'm killed by a guild called Legends. Huh, that's nice. And I died by Haisaki. So I did message this guy, but he was he only knew Spanish. So I was asking how he found me. He just said sorry, bro, and then he said don't speak English. No hablo inglés. So that was my experience. After I hit my probably 100 mil, I'll probably go back and experience Blackstone a little bit more, but right now just working on my gathering, and hopefully you enjoyed my experience. Take cheap gear and use miner boots is my suggestion. Thanks for watching.